Watching the world burn, September 25th, 2024. Let's get into it. All right, I wanted to show you a video, Al Jazeera, because Joe Biden was making his speech before the UN, and he was going on and on about how we're the champions of peace and how the United States wants to save the world and all this. And in a parallel feed, they were showing bodies in Gaza and apartment buildings blown up and the blood and the gore. I mean, and they played it through the whole speech of Biden. And I was just like, this is being broadcast around the world. They were actually making fun of Biden as he did his speech. I was dumbfounded, and I wish I could show it to you, but obviously YouTube and, well, I don't think Rumble would take it down. Maybe I'll make a separate video for you, but I mean, it was astounding. And by the way, what is it? Wasn't Sisi? It was the King of Jordan, and then also Erdogan. They came up and they gave passionate speeches about how they're going to have to take things into their own hands because the United States and Israel must be stopped for world peace. I mean, that's the interpretation that I got from their speeches. They were actually quite good. I'm shocked. I was just like, holy shit. You know, the UN has been completely dysfunctional as far as, you know, doing anything that is good for the world because of the United States veto. But I'm telling you, the world is moving on. If you're a country in the world not going to BRICS right now, I'd be shocked. I think the whole world is just going to turn its back on the United States. Anyway, but let's start the video. This is another thing that's amazing to me. It's like the whole world is changing. I mean, CNN has come out with some recent videos and stuff that are more left, you know, right biased. Georgia Maloney over in Italy. She's saying that, you know, they're clamping down on their borders. They're not going to allow illegal immigrants into their country. I mean, they've cut about 60% of the illegal immigrants coming into Italy. And this is in defiance of the European Union. They're calling her a right-wing lunatic, of course. But I tell you what, I was very disappointed in her when she got elected. But it looks like she's coming around to what, you know, she was elected for. And so that means that these people are feeling that they've got the power now to do these things. I think when she got elected, she had just too much satanic forces against her. But let's get into the first video. This is Elon Musk satire. But see, this is what I'm talking about. This is on Sky News. This is what Sky News, I think, is Australia. And they're a left-wing, you know, lunatic TV station, but yet they played this in its entirety. This is 6 minutes long. I am shocked. Let's watch that video now.
Elon Musk is encouraging a hilarious parody ad mocking Kamala Harris to go viral on X after California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a law to eliminate deepfake and other AI-generated content in the lead-up to the election. The law was sparked by a series of parody videos created by AI and using deepfakes to mock Kamala Harris on social media.
I, Kamala Harris, am your Democrat candidate for president because Joe Biden finally exposed his senility at the debate. Thanks, Joe. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color. So if you criticize anything I say, you're both sexist and racist. I may not know the first thing about running the country, but remember, that's a good thing if you're a deep state puppet. I had 4 years under the tutelage of the ultimate deep state puppet, a wonderful mentor, Joe Biden. Joe taught me rule number 1, carefully hide your total incompetence. I take insignificant things and I discuss them as if they're significant. And I believe that exploring the significance of the insignificant is in itself significant. Talking about the significance of the passage of time. right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, and there is such great significance to the passage of time. Another trick is trying to sound black. I pretend to celebrate Kwanzaa, and in my speeches, I always do my best Barack Obama impression. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. And okay, look, maybe my work addressing the root causes of the border crisis were catastrophic, but my knowledge of international politics is truly shocking. The United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. It is an alliance that is strong and enduring. And just remember, when voting this November, it is important to see what can be unburdened by what has been. And by what has been, I mean Joe Biden. You think the country went to over the past 4 years?
The law signed by Newsom makes it illegal to create and distribute AI-manipulated political content 120 days before and 60 days after Election Day. It also allows courts to stop distribution of the materials and impose civil penalties. The legislation aims to preserve election integrity and prevent AI from spreading disinformation. Newsom said, "I just signed a bill to make this illegal in the state of California. You can no longer knowingly distribute an ad or other election communications that contain materially deceptive content, including deepfakes." But Elon Musk, owner of X and freedom of speech proponent, has lashed out at the governor, banning the ad, saying, "The governor of California just made this parody video illegal in violation of the Constitution of the United States. Would be a shame if it went viral." In a hilarious twist of fate, shortly after Gavin Newsom signed the bill, the Kamala Harris parody ad went viral, with Elon Musk tweeting, "Like that time Streisand sued someone for revealing her super obvious address in Malibu. That really kept a lid on it." The new law attracted a tsunami of criticism on social media. This commentator said, "The governor of California signed a bill that could make posting memes and parody illegal. This goes against the Constitution and the First Amendment." What's happening in California will happen all across America if Kamala wins. Free speech is at risk. Elon Musk reposted this and simply replied, "Yes." And Elon Musk didn't stop at Newsom. He put Tim Walz on blast too after the VP pick condoned the limiting of free speech.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Elon Musk said he wants to take away your right to free speech in America. But it seems like this law isn't working out the way Newsom had hoped, with he himself becoming the subject of mockery after the Babylon Bee got creative on a hilarious new Gavin Newsom parody ad campaign.
Hi, I'm Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. This is a message for the people of America, given in my authentically recorded, non-AI voice. Thanks to my leadership over the last several years, California has become a world leader in extremist, left-wing governance. My policies were so effective that almost 1 million people are now fleeing the state every year. We even ran out of U-Hauls. During the COVID pandemic, I locked everyone in their homes and shut down businesses for months. Not the French Laundry, though. That's my favorite restaurant. Last year, I cleaned up the dangerous, messy streets of San Francisco, because Chinese Communist President Xi was coming, and I really wanted to impress him. He's my boss, after all. This year, I signed legislation that allows me to take custody of your kid if you refuse to give him artificial hormones and chop off his genitals. Because if you don't do that, you're a bigot, and bigots shouldn't be allowed to have kids. I've also led the way in green energy by banning all cars that don't run on electricity. Then I banned almost all the electricity. This is smart leadership. On my watch, the cost of living and homelessness have skyrocketed. Schools are failing. Drug dealers and human traffickers are pouring across the border. And poop has covered the sidewalks of San Francisco. This is the positive, joyful vision we offer as Democrats. That's why I'm enthusiastically endorsing Kamala Harris for president in 2024. She'll do to the country everything I did in California. Anyway, I'm California Governor Gavin Newsom, and I approve this 100% real message, which is a recording of my voice without the assistance of any AI whatsoever. This isn't a deep fake, and you can rest assured that it isn't, because I just signed an unconstitutional law outlawing deep fakes. No one would dare violate it. Thank you, and science bless America.
Was that incredible or what? So let's get into the news. Breaking, Hezbollah is now massively bombing the city of Safed in northern Israel. Israel media reports the Iron Dome is no longer operational. Let's watch that video.
אין כיפת ברזל. אין כיפת ברזל, תראה מה הולך שם. כיפת ברזל לא עובדת.
All right, so that was the first one. Now, this is Sprinter. He says that Israel is taking urgent steps to find a diplomatic solution to the conflict on the northern front with Hezbollah, according to the Israeli Broadcasting Corporation. According to reports, the Israel aims to stop the war within the next 24 hours. The reason for this decision was that the significant losses that Israel suffered as a result of rocket attacks, the scale of which the occupation authorities prefer not to report. If you didn't know, Israel's under a complete media blackout. There's no reporting coming out of there. The media has been completely shut down. Now, there have been some reports that have come out. I can't remember exactly what they were. But anyway, this is another Elon Musk video. Democrats inspired Ryan Ruth and Matthew Crooks to kill. Let's watch that video.
Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Are they a threat to democracy? Yes. Are they going to take our rights away? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes. Are they going to endanger the planet by not dealing with climate change? Yes.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
She's a genuine danger to American security.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
We have to preserve our democracy, or speak out against lies and hate.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is.
President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat that the former president represents to our democracy.
Donald Trump is an existential threat to our democracy and our most fundamental freedoms.
Kamala needs to stop saying that President Trump is a threat to democracy. It's now being received by some unhinged people as a call to action. Enough is enough.
All right, so that was pretty crazy. Now, this is if you didn't know, I worked for JPMorgan Chase in their data center up in Michigan as a cybersecurity guy, rebuilding their data center, and so I have no respect for Jamie Dimon. I think he's just a greedy banker. He's done a lot of damage to the world, but damn it, he actually said something here that I agree with, and he says if you do not control the borders, you're going to destroy your country. And I could read the rest of it, but let's just let him speak in his own words. This is Jamie Dimon. I can't believe it. I mean, this is like Satan saying, control your borders.
We are screwing up tons of other things, including immigration, but life isn't either or. So, you can't say, well, we'll do this and do that. You're dealt the hand you're dealt, and you got to deal with it. And so we should be very clear about helping the lower income population. Every country's got to control the borders, and we have to control the borders. And so they're all important.
Would you take the deal that the Republicans have put on the table, though, which is we want this border immigration policy as we've laid out, and then we'll fund the rest? Would you rather take that than neither?
I have not read that deal in total, but I probably would take it. Yeah. We have to control the borders. We need more merit-based immigration. We need more seasonal immigration. We need more. DACA have a place here. We need a path to citizenship. If you do not control the borders, you are going to destroy our country. And so I think the people who think that somehow this is okay, so now they're sending the the migrants into New York and stuff like that. So all of my super liberal friends, now they realize what a problem is. Did it have to be that? You know, that we realize it. So we want to have a big heart for the world, but we have to.
All right, so that was Jamie Dimon. Holy shit. And then Vladimir Putin, he gives another warning to the West. I tell you, how many warnings does he have to give? If we launched, I mean, you saw my last video. I was talking about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And if we launched long-range missiles into Russia, I mean, God help us. But this is another video from Putin, you know, issuing another warning. And I'm sure the West is not going to take it because everybody ignores it. Let's watch that.
Речь идет о том, чтобы принять решение о том, что страны НАТО напрямую участвуют в военном конфликте или нет. Если это решение будет принято, это будет означать не что иное, как прямое участие стран НАТО, Соединенных Штатов, европейских стран в войне на Украине. Это их прямое участие. И это уже, конечно, существенным образом меняет саму суть, саму природу конфликта. Это будет означать, что страны НАТО, США, европейские страны воюют с Россией. А если это так, то, имея в виду изменение самой сути этого конфликта, мы будем принимать соответствующие решения, исходя из тех угроз, которые нам будут создаваться.
All right, so that was Putin there. Let's see. Let's keep going. You know what? Let's just finish up the video because well, actually, this is a brief clip of Donald Trump with a rally, and what they're pointing out is there's just a shitload of young people at this rally. Let's watch that video. So that was that, and then we'll finish up right here. SpaceX plans to launch about 5 uncrewed Starships to Mars in 2 years, if they can get through the regulations. And if you watched my last video, Elon was talking about the regulations that he's under. If they all land safely, then crewed missions are possible in 4 years if we encounter challenges. Then the crewed missions will be postponed another 2 years. It's only possible to travel from Earth to Mars every 2 years when the planets are aligned. This increases the difficulty of the task, but it also serves to immunize Mars from many catastrophic events on Earth. No matter what happens with the landing success, SpaceX will increase the number of spaceships traveling to Mars exponentially with every transit opportunity. We want to enable everyone who wants to be a space traveler to go to Mars. That means you, your family, your friends, anyone who dreams of a great adventure, and it goes on from there. Now, I encourage you to read the book Battlefield Earth by L. Ron Hubbard. I tell you what, Elon Musk, to me, is the character, I can't remember his name because it's been a long time since I read that book, of the hero in that book. I mean, if he really does get us to Mars, that'll be huge. It could maintain the survival of the human race, because I'm telling you, we're this close to global thermonuclear war, and that's why I was talking about the 4 horsemen running amongst us. Here, breaking it has begun. An American base in northern Syria has been directly hit by a barrage of missiles this evening. Reported possible casualties of Israeli and U.S. troops. The Iran-backed fighters are taking responsibilities. So that's from Spexna 7. I'll put that up on the video. And this is Pepe Escobar. We're going to finish off right here. Let's just finish. The Global Times speaks for the global majority and tells NATO to retire. NATO's 75-year history has proven that it has not made Europe or the world a more peaceful and secure. No shit. NATO's existence and continuous expansion have been the root cause of security dilemmas. On the contrary, lasting peace has been achieved in places with less NATO intervention. The world does not need a NATO that provokes confrontation between camps and spreads the Cold War mentality, not to mention the global expansion of the alliance. We call on NATO to retire as soon as possible, along with the outgoing Secretary General and the outdated concepts of the Cold War mentality, the wrong practice of propaganda of military power, and the dangerous behavior that is destroying Europe and all of the Asian Pacific region. You can't state it any better than that. Pepe, I love you. I love you, man. Peace out. Stay free.